Hello my lovely, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I want to share with you my January painting for my watercolor calendar. And for the month of January it's the Echinacea, or coneflower, Echinacea in German, or Sonnenhut. And I'm starting out with my Schmincke Horadam Helio Green. It's quite a bright color, but as you will see I will go in with a little darker tones and some yellow a little later, so to break up the tone a little bit. And if I sound a little strange today, it's just because I just got over a terrible cold and still on the recovery. But nevertheless, I have sped up the painting process a lot, about 10 times, and I didn't keep all the bits. And as you can see, I've masked off the petals on the outlines and the little stamen. I tried to hand draw the stamen, but it's quite complicated, so I ended up tracing the cone because it's a geometric pattern with the perspective, so it's quite difficult, more difficult than I thought. And I have listed all the paints I'm using as I'm using them on my screen, and the ultramarine is not really in here, but I used it to mix the color, the dark color for the cone. It's not completely black, but as you'll see at the end, there is a certain pattern in there. Yes, and so in the meantime I have removed the masking fluid from the leaves, but I'm keeping it on the cones for obvious reasons, and painting the leaves with magenta and quinacridone magenta. And yeah, I'm putting down the paint and removing it as it's still wet, because the leaves have a certain structure and I wanted to show that. And I'm not going to go into the leaves like a painter, a botanical painter would do, and painting all the separate lines separately in different layers. I'm going to just do a one or maximum 2 layers, I think. The only thing that I regret doing is putting in those leaves around those dots at the top. I should have just left the orange blobs as they were, but such is life. I couldn't correct it again in hindsight. Yeah, so there's not much to say about this, only that I'm using Billy Showell brushes and my beloved Casaneo quill and yeah, these brushes are really beautiful, and sometimes it seems a shame to use them on such a non-botanical subject in a way, in the painting style way I mean, but nevertheless they really do serve me well. And I'm using the eradicator brush, the short stubby one, to get rid of the harsh lines that are caused by the masking fluid and the paint touching the edges of each other. So I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible. So as you can see, I'm wetting the paper first and then going in with my paint and removing it again, then adding more paint and removing it again, and so on. And here you can see the eraser I'm using to lift the masking fluid. And now I've gone over to using my hands because the eradicator is a little rough on the paper, and with your fingers you can actually feel if there's a problem. The masking fluid wasn't on there for long, and I must say the paper from Hahnemühle, this collection paper, is quite good at taking masking fluid. So I'm using the hot press here, and the masking fluid is coming off quite well, but still you have to be careful. That's my experience anyway. So I'm going in with the yellow as a base color for the stamen and dropping in the orange. This is actually the transparent orange, while it's still fairly wet, and so it gives a smooth transition. I'm not going to show you the whole process. Later on I'll be adding some green at the base of the stamens, and I'll just show you the finished outcome. And here I'm carefully removing the masking tape. I used a painter's tape for this, so I'm carefully heating up the tape before removing it, which is always a good idea, but if you use washi tape it's not so aggressive. So sorry about my head getting in the way there. And that's basically it. I will remove the painting from the block and then cut it to side on the one side that is too long. And yeah, then all that remains to do is to scan the page and format it for my printer. And that's it for January. I hope you liked my painting and my process and the sped up version. If you did, please give me a like for the video. Do subscribe to my channel for more content that I'll be uploading soon. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon, hopefully. And until then, take care, do what you love. Bye for now. Ta-da!